Good day and greetings. I'm Ais Intia and we are here to present our project entitled Retail Console Management System, a Java-based console application that allows staff to manage both products and sales transactions efficiently. The system's goal is to automate core retail functions such as adding and updating product records, recording sales, and generating analytical reports. It is divided into three main modules: product management module, sales management module, and reports and analytics module. Each of these modules work together to simulate a complete retail management workflow.
Greetings, Mr. Galasko. My name is Ariscon Cedric, and I'll be discussing about the system architecture and the system flow, and as well as the analytics module of our project. So, para po sa, sa system architecture is mainly, ginamit naman yung MVC system design, wherein it's MVC stands for the Model View Controller. Pero in this way, yung controller, hindi lang siya basta nagpo-process ng data, but it directs flow between sa aming sa mga aming mga existing components dito. And then for a much more data-driven design is may implement tayo ng component na managers. And then yung presentation layer namin is naka-subdivide into prompters and views. And meron rin tayong implementation dito wherein meron tayong events at saka request sa system para ma-maintain natin yung loosely coupling ng ating mga modules. So I will discuss kung paano gumagana itong mga to. So first of all, dito sa sa part natin dito wherein sa shared na shared na directory is it contains actually lahat ng mga base implementations. Let's say for example, yung sa console renderer natin, it's actually a base implementation para sa ating view models. And yung sa builder is mainly lang naman yan, parang helper class, utility class for the renderer. Yung console prompter naman, it actually does two things at once, wherein siya yung siya yung parang in a way may output na rin siya since it prompts for an input sa sa console, and pinaparse niya yung kung ano yung pumapasok sa kanyang data. And yung prompter na yan and yung renderer is yung base implementations natin for, let's say for example, yung sa sales view, sales prompter, since at saka etc etc. And then we have yung ID generator. Yung ID generator na yan is an abstract class which is meant to be extended talaga, wherein yung prefix na to, mapapansin nyo, kailangan may yung mag-extend na class dito is mag-implement ng sarili niyang prefix. Kung mapapansin nyo sa pag-run ng aming program dito, we have here yung PRD, which stands for yung sa product, yung prefix na na define natin for our ID. And then sal naman for our sales record ID generator. Yung mapapansin nyo, hindi siya kita agad dito yung sales ID record generator ganyan, since it's actually a utility class inside the prompters natin. Kasi yung prompters yung nagiget ng input. And basically building yung products or any other models na kailangan natin under the hood. And yun na yun for the UI components. Punta naman tayo sa list structure. Sa list structure naman is we have this base implementation called yung record list, wherein yung record list na yan is nag-extend ng record interface. Ngayon, t-extends record interface wherein yung type parameter natin or yung yung data is na papasok sa record list is dapat in-extend niya yung record or in-implement niya yung record interface. Ngayon, ano ba yung record? So yung record kasi is mainly a contract na nagsasabi na dapat itong na dapat yung nag-implement ng interface na to is meron siyang ID. And since Instead na parang yung lookup natin sa ano sa isang yung sa base na ano no sa parang original OG na linked list is mainly mag-enter ka lang ng index sa kung saan mo para ma-search mo o ma-traverse mo kung ano yung kakailanganin mong data. Well, in this implementation, instead of those indices na kukunin mo, is kukunin mo yung ID. Let's for example, ito. Let's try and search for something ha. So we try to look up yung PRD A0010, which is yung product na ID natin for um something So yan, magpapakita na yung product niya na look up natin. So itong product ID na to or yung get ID function natin sa ating na in-implement ng interface record, it ensures na yun yung magiging direct reference natin sa ating mga lists. And this is the base implementation sa aming program. Ngayon, kung mapapansin nyo, there are actually domain data structures dito wherein yung mga domain data structures niyan is tailored sa kung ano man yung kakailanganin ng ating mga modules. And yeah, para kasi instead of having yung manager na mag-traverse sa ating kukunin yung ID, magre-remove ng ganyan, it causes it actually has a lot of it actually does a lot of operation costs under the hood. Kaya ito yung pinakamagandang implementation, which is to define its own data structure, and ensure mo na yung data structure na yun is nag-extend lang ng ating base implementation, which is yung record list. Kasi lahat ng mga models na makikita nyo, lahat ng mga domain objects natin dito is my ID. Next up, managers. So ang managers, yes, basically nag-invoke lang siya ng mga methods na meron sa ating list. And then meron tayong may wrapper class tayo actually. Like let's say for example sa sales manager, may wrapper class tayo for the safe supplying ng ng inputs. Kasi mostly sa manager is magre-return siya dapat ng model or object na kakailanganin ng ating program ng controller para ma-redirect niya yung object na yon to the relevant components. So yeah, we have here yung wrapper dito, and then lahat yan is i-supply na lang. Save supplier.supply yung actual return statements na yan. And then actually the manager class is actually partially a god class in the sense na yung manager is it will also handle requests and events. Ngayon, ano ba yung mga requests and events na yan? So, this is actually an implementation na reminiscent sa kung paano gumagana yung Roblox na APIs. Wherein may ginagamit sila ng mga singleton static na on a static context na mga events. And then, kung sino may nagsasubscribe is i-handle nila ng data or maybe magre-request sila ng data. Tas, yun, makukuha nila yung data na yun. So for events, it's merely passing yung data, tas kung sino man yung nag-listen sa event na yun is sila lang bahala kung ano yung gagawin nila sa data na papasok sa kanila. Like, let's say for example, sa inventory manager natin, meron tayong nakalagay dito na yung events natin is stock reduction.add listener. This rene-reference natin agad yung yung handler dyan, wherein ito yung handle stock reduction. So yan, dito na papasok yung handle stock reduction. May kukunin siyang object, tapos titingnan kung instance ba siya, mag-silently return, and then yung manager na 'to, siya na bahala kung ano yung gusto niyang mangyari dun sa papasok sa kanyang data. And yun yung ano, yun yung parang pinaka-overview when it comes sa event system. Pero sa request naman, it actually functions differently. Wherein sa request naman is, it will request data. Yeah, yun yung it's basically it. It will request data, and then sa pagka-request niya is may matatanggap siyang data. And those requests are actually mainly used sa analytics module. Kung mapansin nyo sa aming analytics manager, wala siya masyadong methods. It actually just requests yung data na yon sa ating mga from our other modules. I mean, in a real world context kasi, if you're having if you're actually using a reports and analytics department, I mean, depende yun sa parang kung ano yung nature ng business na gagawin mo, sa kung ano yung bibigyan mo ng reports or analytics. So, you will actually request data na rin. And the reason why kung bakit hindi naman siya nagpa-process ng data is existing naman na kasi yung records nun eh. Like, let's say for example, yung sa out of stock products, meron ng actually na status updates dun sa inventory module mismo. So, it's much better kung sila na yung mag-process nun ng sarili nila. And then magre-request na lang yung analytics manager natin dito. Total products. Meron na yun sa inventory module, yung top selling, sa sales, at saka sa get total sales. You get the gist. Magre-request na lang siya ng data. Pero if we were to scale this, like let's say for example, kukunin natin yung percentages ganyan, or maybe we're looking at trends sa kung ano yung nangyayari sa ating mga products, or maybe sa ating sales, then maybe may separate tayo na analytics service na kung saan kukuha nga siya ng list, and then i-handle na ng service natin ng analytics service yung data na yun. So that's basically it for the event at saka supplier system. And then lastly, yun na nga, nabanggit ko na yun sa analytics module. Well, it just requests data. Tapos kung ano yung makuha ang requested data na yun is i-print out or i-show na lang ng presentation layer natin, which is yung sa analytics view or analytics console view. Tapos lastly, okay, ito na yung pinakahuli talaga. System demonstration flow. So when it comes sa system flow is etong main ang magiging entry point talaga natin. Pero difference is, or yung kung paano siya nagdi-differ sa parang sa actual practice is hindi tayo gumagamit dito ng dependency injection na container, wherein yun yung parang prominent actually sa Spring Boot na framework. Wire lang natin lahat sa main. And then yan, para mas maging readable siya ng konti, naka-separate na kung paano ini-initialize yung mga module. Like let's say for example, ang pinaka main naman talaga na class dito is yung sales controller, kasi siya yung parang nasa top, or yung parang pinaka root kumbaga ng subtree natin, wherein yung subtree natin is composed of all these classes. So yun, siya na yung dito na papasok yung yung pag-initialize ng ating mga modules. And then papasok natin yung mga initialized modules na yon sa ating app runner. Kasi sa ating app runner, siya yung nagde-define ng pinaka-centralized na program flow. So yan, may switch case statements tayo and then meron rin tayong change settings actually para lang matoggle yung mga states, no? Like let's say for example dito, pwede mo actually i-toggle out yung yung colors ng ating system. And yan. Ngayon, bakit kami naglagay ng kulay kung yung sa Codiva naman is hindi naman niya supported yung ANSI? Well, gusto na rin kasi namin na ang mangyari sa project namin is maging ano siya, magmukha siyang professional. Magmukha siyang parang isang actual na, ano, na terminal tool. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo sa mga packages ng ano ng ibang developers, yung like let's say for example yung sa Vite, when it comes sa building ng ano nila ng kit nila, merong ano meron sila mga colors and whatnot para mas clear yung intent ng kanilang ano ng ginagawa na lang ng kanilang ano CLI or command line interface na ano na program. Kaya yun, we implemented yung color summing program para mas maging ano siya intuitive when it comes to design. So yun lang po. In summary, the retail console management system integrates key retail functions into one efficient console-based tool. Yun nga lang, kahit na wala pang OOP, gumamit na kami ng object-oriented na design, is to foster kasi yung parang ano yung good practice when it comes sa pagde-develop ng ganitong klaseng mga system. So, everything is loosely coupled, yung ano yung tatlong modules. When it comes sa ano sa when we're talking about sa coupling actually, etong in itong analytics module, it can actually live on its own. Pero I mean yung analytics module actually it cannot really live on its own kasi ano siya kailangan may basis siya kung ano yung i-write down niya ng ano ng reports and analytics, 'di ba? Pero itong inventory at saka sales module, they are actually standalone features. Tapos pwede kang mag-test out ng mga stuff. Like let's say for example, gumawa ka ng sarili ng controller, pwede mo ipasok dito. I mean, walang defined na mga contract APIs. Pero in a way, yung current structure natin, madali lang magpalit-palit ng mga components. So yun lamang po sa ano sa part ko. Now I will leave yung pag I will leave yung pag-explain sa iba ko pong mga teammates. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig sa akin.
Hello, Dangal greetings. My name is Joshua, and today we're going to tackle all about sales management module that is located in core domain sales directory. Now, what is a sales management module? It manages all customer transaction and ensures that each sale automatically update product inventory levels. All right. The central logic of this module is in the sales manager.java, which acts as the bridge between user request and the data storage handled by the sales list.java. Meaning to say, sales manager in simple terms is like the base point of everything so far. So we have data structure, it's going to be there. We have the controller, it's going to be there. Everything, the UI and the console and all, it's all in the sales manager.java. All right. Now we have another one, which I mentioned is the sales controller. This one records a sale for the user that will trigger an add sale event, and when triggered, the sales manager will capture this event, conducts a new sales record, and calls the appropriate methods in sales list to store it. Meaning to say, they work hand in hand, the controller and the sales list. Because the sales record is like the one that creates or the one that makes a new object for the sales list to be stored with. Alright? The sales list, okay, as I've been explaining earlier, is a data structure that extends a record list classed from the core shared data structure. This base implementation is a custom linked list that performs lookups from using unique ID references instead of array indices. This means that rather than accessing elements by position, the program traverses the nodes of the list and finds records that match a specific ID. This makes the system much more flexible when handling the dynamic data, such as varying sales transactions. Okay, looking at the code, the sales manager, as you can see, we have, as you can see, we have the constructor for the domain events, the constructor that when passed, that when an object was made, and data was made and it was passed on the sales manager, it will be stored in the sales record list, or actually the list itself, right? And we have another function that is called handle product remove, a function product added, function product updated. It's actually those functions. I don't want to dwell even further. There's a lot of functions here that will tackle, that will control everything that we need in a sales module, right? I'm going to tackle. Next is the controller, which is the important part or the important aspect of the module. And this one is the controller that controls everything that goes hand in hand with the manager. Okay. We have here the importing part, which is we import the sales.model and the sales.ui console. And this one is responsible for coordinating between the view, prompter, and manager. This one we have here, the controller is actually like a way for the user to be interact with the sales module itself. Because if the sales manager is the core concept or the core foundation of the sales module, the controller is where, the word controller, self-explanatory, for the user to control the actual module. Without this, we cannot do a thing for the module, for the sales management module itself. Okay. Okay, as you can see, this codes, it already have comments at it in it, so it's basically self-explanatory. Yeah, add product, have the add product, worker sales, and etc. Okay, data structure, sales list. We have here the sales list that extends, or the extends is an inheritance of a record list. As you can see, the code and the model. We have the product totals. This one have getters and setters. Yes, this one accumulated sales data. It represents the accumulated sales data for a specific product. Same with the sales item. This one represents a single product entry within a sales record. Sales record. This one is a single sales record, or meaning to say a transaction entry. And the UI or console. This one, the Java, both of Sales Console Prompter and Sales Console View. When you read it in overall, in general UI or console, this one actually displays something for the user to see, and for the user, when seen it, they can interact with. Okay. I think that's all overall in sales management module. Thank you so much for listening.
Greetings, sir. My name is Clemeno, and I will be the one explaining the computations and technical reasoning. So in this module, the linked list structure allows for efficient insertion and traversal, since each cell record is stored as a node that can be accessed sequentially. This avoids the need for array resizing or reindexing, which would be inefficient in frequent transactions. The manager-to-list relationship ensures that business logic is kept separate from data manipulation. For example, while the manager determines what to add or what to delete, the list is responsible for how it's actually stored or traversed internally. So this separation exemplifies modular programming and data abstraction, where higher level logic doesn't need to know the internal details of the linked list. This module also integrates with Inventory Manager.java, automatically reducing product quantities after a sale is recorded, maintaining data consistency across modules. The user interface for this part is handled by Sales Console Prompter.java and Sales Console View.java, providing user-friendly input and formatted summaries of recorded sales. So this concludes the sales management modules. So next, my teammates will discuss the product management module. That will be all. Thank you.
The product management module, found in core/domain/inventory, handles all operations related to product records. Its core classes include Inventory Manager.java, Inventory Controller.java, and Inventory List.java. The product.java model represents each product's attributes such as ID, name, price, and quantity. When a user performs an operation, such as add product or update product, the inventory manager processes that request and calls methods from inventory list to execute the data manipulation. Like the sales list, the inventory list also extends records list, meaning it inherits the same ID-based lookup and linked node transversal system. This allows operations like searching or deleting a product by its unique ID, rather than its position in a static list.
Hi, my name is Maturan, and together with Ais Intia, we will tackle the product management module. So to proceed the discussion, so I'm gonna tackle the operations and technical reasoning of it. In inventory list, the linked list supports forward and backward traversal, which is used when viewing products in both directions, and the feature implemented for user convenience in the console display. So to proceed, we will tackle the search product. So the search product method in Inventory Manager demonstrate how traversal works. It loops through each node in the inventory list, comparing IDs or names until it finds the correct match. So these dynamics and pointer-based structures allow efficient insertions, deletions, and searches, which are crucial for inventory systems where data changes frequently. So from an architectural perspective, the inventory manager's role is to handle logic, validation, and event responses, while inventory list takes care of the actual storage and retrieval. This mirror seems the event handling framework found across all modules, ensuring consistent behavior throughout the system. Finally, the inventory prompter and inventory view classes handle users' interaction and render outputs in ANSI styled formats for better console visualization. So, this concludes our part on product management. I'll now return the floor to our first speaker for the final summary. Thank you.
Thank you. And to conclude, the retail console management system demonstrates a complete event-driven and object-oriented approach to managing retail operations. Each module, product, sales, and analytics, communicates through managers and shared data structures built on the record list foundation, ensuring modularity, scalability, and data integrity. By using linked list transversals, event handling, and ID-based lookups, this system offers both technical efficiency and architectural clarity. Thank you so much and have a good day.